Hey, okay, this is the second half. I'm gonna starting with number 5. Here's number 1, 2, 3, and 4 graphed if you want to use those real quick. But I'm gonna go on to number 5. The first 4 were in the first half of the video. Okay, so number 5. What is the vertex and axis of symmetry of x plus 5 squared minus 7? Remember, inside lies, so the vertex is at -5, -7. Axis of symmetry is the vertical line directly through the vertex. So if it's vertical line through this, x equals -5. That'll be the equation of the line. That's the axis of symmetry. Now for number 6, if you remember in class we changed the middle term to 8x from 7x to make your lives easier. So first of all, this is the one where we're going to use that new formula, x equals opposite of b over 2a, to find the axis of symmetry. So for this, x equals the opposite of b. A for this is 1, b is 8, and c is 12. The opposite of b is -8 over 2 times a, which is 1. Well, that means that x is equal to -8 divided by 2, which is -4. So x equals -4. That means that the vertex has an x value of -4, and in order to find the y value, we need to put it into the equation. Y equals -4 squared plus 8 times -4 plus 12. Okay, so let's just calculate that. -4 squared is 16. 8 times -4, 8 times 4 is 3, so -32 plus 12. 16 minus 32 is -16. -16 plus 12 is -4. So the vertex is at the point -4, -4. Okay. There's a work for that. I guess it's out of range. Okay, x-intercepts, that's where y equals 0. So set y equal to 0 and solve for x. To do that for this equation, scratch a piece of paper here. I'm running out of space. The equation is x squared plus 8x plus 12. 0 equals x squared plus 8x plus 12. Best way to solve this is by factoring. If factoring doesn't work, use the quadratic formula. Two numbers that multiplied to be 12, add to be 8. I believe 6 and 2 will work. So the values for x that make this true will be x equals -6, because -6 plus 6 is 0, and x equals -2, because -2 plus 2 is 0. So the x-intercepts, where x equals -6 and y equals 0, and where x equals -2 and y equals 0. Now the y-intercept, that's where x equals 0. So if for this equation y equals x squared plus 8x plus 12, if we let all the x's equal to 0, 0 squared plus 8 times 0 plus 12, 0 squared is 0, 8 times 0 is 0. Well, 0 plus 0 plus 12 is 12. So the y-intercept is at the point 0 on for the x and 12 for the y. Now, the last two questions, all you need to do is look at the equation. Does it open up or down? Well, since a is positive, it's going to open up. Remember, if a is positive, it's a smiley face. If a is negative, it's frowny. Maximum or minimum? Well, any equation that opens up will have a lowest point, and that lowest point is a minimum. Alright, so that's number 6. Number 7. We need to graph this. Well, it's in standard form. And so to do this, because before we were completing the square to get into vertex form, instead of doing that for the vertex, because that's the point we like to have in the middle of our graph, what we're going to do is we're going to use that little formula we learned today, the opposite of b over 2a. Okay, x equals a is -1, b is 4, and c is -4. So the opposite of b is -4 over 2 times a, which is -1. -4 divided by -2 is +2. So that's the x value. That tells us where the center of the graph is going to be. Right there. Okay. Now, what we need to do to find the actual vertex is put that 2 into the equation to solve for y. Before I bother with that, I'm going to put in the other x values. 2 numbers smaller than 2 would be 1 and 0. 2 numbers larger than 2 would be 3 and 4. Okay. Now, my next plan is to go through, put in all those values for x and find y. Well, let's start with the vertex. Y equals negative 2 squared. Now see how the 2 is squared but not the negative. Plus 4 times 2 minus 4. So 2 squared is 4. I'll make it negative. So negative 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Minus 4. Negative 4 plus 8 is 4 minus 4 is 0. So our first point is actually at 2, 0. Now, up to the top again, put in 0 for x. Negative 0 squared will be 0. Plus 4 times 0 is 0. Minus 4. So this point will be 0, negative 4. Now I'm going to go on to the 1. Let's see, where am I going to put this? X equals 1. I'm going to put that way down here. So y equals negative 1 squared plus 4 times 1 minus 4. 1 squared is 1, then make it negative is negative 1. 4 times 1 is 4, minus 4. So negative 1 plus 4 is 3, minus 4 is negative 1. Okay. Now when you put the 3 and 4 into the equation, they're going to end up being symmetrical with the 1 and 0. So 3, put in 3, negative 1 will be the y value. When you put in 4, you find that the y value is negative 4, which is good. So I'm going to graph these last 4 points. 1, negative 1, 0, negative 4, 1, 2, 4, 3, negative 1, and 4, negative 4. And this graph the parabola. Make sure it's rounded and not pointy at the vertex. Okay, arrows on both ends. Alright, so that's number 7 on the practice test. Okay, good luck tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.